Part 3 of the B2 First Use of English exam. Part 3? Really? Yes, really. My name is Toby, this is Smash English, and here is everything you need to know about Part 3 of the Use of English paper for the B2 First Cambridge exam. In Part 3 of the Use of English paper, you will be given a text. But in this text, there will be 9 spaces. Well, 8, because one of them is an example. Wow, we love examples. Now, for every space, there will be a word in bold. It is your job to change this word in bold so that it makes sense in the sentence. I love it when sentences make sense. The sense of the sentence. To do this, we need to, number 1, make sure we understand what type of word our word in bold is. Is it an adjective, a verb, a noun, an adverb? Number 2, make sure that we recognize what type of word we need to make in the space. Do we need to make an adverb, an adjective, a verb, a noun? Should this noun be plural or singular? Very important. And number 3, we should understand the meaning, the sense of the sentence, because perhaps there is more than one possible word that we can make. And if that is the case, then we must make sure that the word that we make fits with the sense of the sentence. Yeah. And lastly, make sure that your spelling is perfect, because if you make one mistake, you've got it wrong, and you are a failure. And that's a terrible thing. Let me give you a really quick and simple example. I didn't think passing the B2 First exam was a possibility until I found Smash English. Smash English made everything super easy. So our word in bold is possibility. What type of word is possibility? Well, it is an object, a thing, a noun. Now let's think about what type of word we need. Well, first we have passing the B2 First exam, and then we have the verb be in the form of was. This could mean 2 things. We either need the passive, so we need a past participle, or we need an adjective. The passive would be really strange here, because possibility does not have a verb. So how can we make a verb in the past participle form to go into this space? Well, we can't do it. So no, it's not the passive. That means we need an adjective. But we have 2 possible adjectives coming from possibility. We have possible and impossible. So which one do we need? And this is why it's very important to understand the meaning. Here we need possible. I didn't think it was possible to pass the exam, but then I found Smash English and it was really easy. This is why you must identify what type of word the word in bold is, what type of word you need, and then number 3, understand the meaning to make sure the word you have chosen fits with the sentence. Does it make sense in the sentence? But seriously, students often forget to think about the sense of the sentence, and so they write down the first word that comes into their heads, and they get it wrong, they fail, and they want to die. And that's a terrible thing. So let's begin. And to practice, I have found a fantastic text in a scientific journal about men with long hair.
Golden locks are often a source of jealous among those that do not have them. This is understand, as not only are golden locks a sign of immense strong, but also wisdom. Some argue that men with long hair are suited for professional positions. They point out that these men create a distract in the office, preventing others from doing their work. Indeed, their deny beauty can make concentration exceedingly difficult for those around them, even more so for members of the opposite sex. So what could a possible solve be? Should these alpha males be segregated from society, or should they instead be held up as an inspire to all? Irrespective of the answer, there is one thing we can surely agree on. Men with long hair add another layer of diverse to this world that makes life worth living.
Gosh, I loved that. That was great and very scientific. I wonder who wrote it. They must be a genius.
Golden locks are often a source of jealous among those that do not have them.
Yes, that is very true. And this one is easy, if you know the vocabulary. So, jealous, our word in bold, is an adjective. And in our space, we need a noun, an object, a thing, a noun, because we have a source of. Well, a source of what? Only a noun is possible here. And this is simple because jealous only has one noun, which is jealousy. Brilliant. I love that word.
This is understand, as not only are golden locks a sign of immense strong, but also wisdom.
Now it gets a bit more difficult, so let's start with strong, because it's the easier one of the two. Strong, our word in bold, is an adjective. The word preceding our space is immense, which is also an adjective. Before immense, we have a sign of. A sign of immense, we need a noun. There is only one noun of strong, and that is strength. Wow, easy. This was easy because there is only one noun of strength, so the meaning is not so important. All you need to do is understand what type of word strong is and what type of word we need. Strong, adjective, strength, noun, done. However, understand is different. Oh no! First, what type of word is understand? Yes, it is a verb. Wow, you are a genius. Genius? Yes, we have a genius right here. Next, what does this refer back to? We need to know this to know what kind of word we need and what it refers back to. Well, here it refers to the jealousy that men with short hair feel towards men with long hair. That is a terrible jealousy. Really, really bad. Toxic. Grammatically, we have two choices for understand. It could be the passive, in which case we need the past participle. This is understood as not only is long hair a sign of immense strength. It's possible, but it's a bit strange because understood by who? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about everyone? Why are we suddenly talking about everyone? I don't understand. Why would you put this in the passive? I don't know. It's possible, but I think we can do better. Instead, I think we need the adjective of understand. We want to say that something is easily understood, or that something is capable of being understood. If we want to say that a verb is capable of being done, then we add the suffix able. For example, the race is winnable. My face is kissable. With Smash English, the B2 first exam is smashable. Oh, brilliant. That's the name of the channel and everything. Smash English, smashable, transformations, knowledge. This gives us the adjective understandable. This is understandable, as not only are golden locks a sign of immense strength, but also wisdom. It's true. It's damn true.
Some argue that men with long hair are suit for professional positions. They point out that these men create a distract in the office, preventing others from doing their work.
Again, I think we should deal with distract first. This is because we need to properly understand the sense of the second sentence to understand the meaning and thus the word we need in the first sentence. This again will be very simple. Distract is a verb. Before our space we have an indefinite article. This means we need a noun. There is only one noun for distract, and that is distraction. Simple. So now let's go back to our first sentence. Suit, our word in bold, is a verb. Our subject in this sentence is men with long hair. Then we have the verb be. This means we need an adjective, but there are 4 possible adjectives that come from suit. This is a problem. When I was born, I didn't even know 4 words. So this is a lot of words. We could say suited or unsuited, or suitable or unsuitable. So which is correct? Firstly, do we need the positive form of the adjective or do we need the negative prefix? Well, these men create distractions. They prevent others from doing their work. This means we need the negative prefix. So, we have 2 possibilities now. Unsuited or unsuitable. But what is the difference between them? I don't know. This is terrible. Unsuited means something is not right for a specific purpose. For example, this video is unsuited to IELTS exam preparation because the IELTS exam does not have the use of English paper. So if you are preparing for the IELTS exam, why are you watching this? Wow, this video is unsuited to you. Also, unsuited is often followed by the preposition to. Not always, and for is possible, but usually it is followed by to. Cool. Unsuitable, on the other hand, means inappropriate. That film is unsuitable for children. It is very, very violent. Wow, showing a child a violent film is a very inappropriate, unsuitable thing to do. Maybe men with long hair are suited to working in offices. Maybe they are fantastic at working in offices, but unfortunately they are unsuitable for it because the other men are so jealous of them and they distract people because they're so beautiful. So here we need unsuitable. Wow, wasn't that fun, guys? The way that we identified that suit was a verb and then we realized that we needed an adjective, but then we had like 4 different adjectives to choose from, so we had to narrow them down to 2. We knew that we needed the negative prefix, but then we had to look carefully at the meaning to see if we needed unsuited or unsuitable. This was like a journey that we shared together, and now I feel I know you in a very deep and meaningful way. And because we are now best friends, you're going to subscribe. Thank you so much.
Their deny beauty can make concentration exceedingly difficult for those around them, even more so for members of the opposite sex.
Deny is a verb, and you cannot deny that, darling. Yeehaw. The word after our space is beauty, and beauty is a noun. This means we need an adjective to describe this noun. There are only 2 possible adjectives that we can create from deny: deniable and undeniable. Again, we have the suffix able, meaning that the verb is capable of being done. Now, be honest with yourselves. Look deep into your soul. Are you capable of denying that men with long hair are beautiful? Of course you're not. You are incapable of that because it is an undeniable fact. Yes, their undeniable beauty.
So what could a possible solve be?
This is easy. Our word in bold is solve, and solve is a verb. Possible is an adjective, and we have an article preceding that, which means that we need a noun. What is the noun of solve? Solution. And that is the solution.
Should these alpha males be segregated from society, or should they instead be held up as an inspire to all?
Again, this is simple. Inspire is a verb. We have an article, an, so we need a noun. There is only one noun that comes from inspire, and that is inspiration.
Irrespective of the answer, there is one thing we can surely agree on. Men with long hair add another layer of diverse to this world. That makes life worth living.
And this is easy again. Diverse is an adjective. And in this space, we need a noun. Because a layer of what? We need an object, a thing, a noun. But what is the noun of diverse? Well, actually, we have 2 options. Diversity is the state of being diverse. Diversification is the process of making something diverse. And here we're talking about a state, not a process, so the answer is diversity. And to be honest, For the B2 First exam, you don't need to know the word diversification. So if you wrote it down thinking, wow, Toby, great word, thank you for that, I cannot wait to use that in my Use of English exam, I'm really sorry, because that will definitely not be an answer in your Use of English exam. Not for B2, anyway. So I apologise. I wasted your time, and for that, I'm very, very sorry. So what have we learned today? Well, we have learned that men with long hair are bloody great. Right? That was the message, yeah? And more importantly, we have learned how to pass part 3 of the B2 First Use of English exam, and that is a fantastic thing. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. My name is Toby, and this was Smash English.